Alright, welcome back to Plastic Models by a Regular Dude and the Tamiya M41 Walker Bulldog weathering project for the beginner series. Where I left off last time is I had finished up all the weathering, streaking, and the dry brushing. So now what I've started is using a number 2 soft lead pencil. I've started highlighting handles, grab handles, and the like. And it's very simple, and you can use paint to do it as well, but I kind of like graphite just for the fact that it's not ultra shiny, but it has a nice sheen to it without being too bright, like say aluminum or something like that. And it's just a matter of rubbing it on, just drawing it right on there. The nice thing is, since metal, gets worn out, it's not real uniform, so you don't have to worry about being real super particular about it. But anywhere where there would be continual rubbing, as opposed to chips, which I don't know if anybody has really thought about it, but there's a marked lack of chipping on this vehicle. Mainly, I didn't want to do chipping on this one. Sometimes I think it can be overdone. I've done it myself on some of my kits, so I wanted to have this be a garrison type vehicle. It's not seeing any combat, just training duty. So there's no real heavy wear on it, and any chips that are on it would be slight, and it's covered by the dust and weathering. So that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. So it's just a matter of rubbing it on there. So then something else you want to remember is the tracks, the metal part of the tracks. You can do the same thing. Again, you can use paint, but I kind of like this because, again, it's not real stark, but it does highlight the metal parts that come in contact with the harder road surfaces. Again, you can use paint, you can even dry brush it with paint, but you risk getting somewhere where you don't want it. So in this case, I'm using a pencil. The nice thing about it is, even if you spray a flat coat on here, it's still going to show through. I've done it plenty of times where I've done the metal work with graphite and sprayed a flat coat, and you can still see the brightness of it. Maybe not quite as stark, but it's there. So I'm going to do that, but first thing I want to do, now here's where what you call knowing your subject comes in handy. I'm going to add some fuel spills to this, sloppy fueling and stuff, because there's always going to be some accumulated around the fuel filler cap. So I'm using Vallejo's engine series, and it's fuel stains. A nice thing about this, it's not like a normal wash, because this will maintain a sheen, glossy sheen, like it's like it's wet. So I'm just going to dab some in there like that, and let it pool around, get it down in there where it would accumulate, stay shiny. So like if you did put a flat coat, you'd want to do this after the flat coat. Some little dots of around there, a little bit slopped up on here. Okay, same thing here. be kind of random. And try and think how gravity would pull this down. You know, it's going to pull it down this way after so much. Then it's going to hit this groove right here. It's going to kind of fill in that groove and then not necessarily come out, pull off in direct line with that. It's going to, as it fills up and overflows, it's going to be pretty random. Like that. That looks pretty good. So then something else you want to consider. Clean your brush off. So you'll want to remember, if you have fuel cans, that will also have drippity fuel all over it. Not all over it, but puddled up around the cap. Okay, so got a little bit of drippy fuel on there, so that's good. So the next part you want to think of, with all the maintenance happening on these things, there's bound to get some oil and grease stains around. So taking Vallejo engine oil stains, and this can also be done with washes and stuff. This is just nice because it does have a nice sheen to it. I'm not totally sold on all of these type of pre-made things, but some of them do have some really nice aspects to them, and this is one of them. Okay, so just, you know, just around the engine decks and hatches. And sometimes doing this, it helps to drink a cup of coffee because it makes you all shaky, and you can get some really random little dots of oil and stuff. Okay, just random stuff around there. Because as it dries, it, you know, levels out. So it's really good. But all up here in this engine area, there's going to be oil and fluids and everything else. Like this one right here, I'm not sure if that's for coolant or not, but guess what? It's getting some nice shiny stuff. I tried looking online, I couldn't find anything, so, you know, if I really wanted to be clever, I'd get a book and actually do it, but since this is an exercise, I'm not going to say necessarily that this is totally accurate. This right here, but just doing it for exercise sake. Let's see. Let's put some more over up in here, along these edges, just wherever, you know, you feel like there might be some oil, fluids dripped around. Okay, and there you go. And then if you wanted to replicate some leaky seals or anything, you could put some right around some of the where bearings and stuff would be on the Wheels, again, it just depends on how much you want on there. There's no set amount. I'm going to say it's a pretty well maintained vehicle, so only a few of them will be kind of leaky. But it's just to give you an idea what it'll look like. Trickle some down like that, like it's leaking down somewhere. Around seals, even in the mud, it might soak through the mud if they got a especially bad leak. Stuff like that. So there's that. So I'm going to do some more of the lead stuff on the tracks, and that will pretty much get it close to being wrapped up. So I'm going to work on this a little bit and then come back. Alright, so for all intents and purposes, this kit is finished. So, with the exception of the figure, but that is going to be something else at another time once I have worked with coming up with a good method for painting figures. Something actually demonstratable, not just shooting from the hip. So it's done. So I am going to call it quits. I will set everything up and come back with a kind of a final reveal. We'll do a 360, kind of look at the whole thing and discuss what has been done on a final reveal video. So again, thanks for joining me on Plastic Models by a Regular Dude, and I will see you for the final reveal of the M41 Walker Bulldog. Alright, welcome back to Plastic Models by a Regular Dude and the final viewing of the Tamiya M41 Walker Bulldog weathering project for the beginner series. In this exercise, I tried some different weathering techniques that I haven't really used before, such as the extra crusty mud underneath the hull and the running gear. Same within the back, the other side, and the front. I also tried on this one some dot oil filters, and I employed those, as well as some oil streaking, dry brushing, and that's pretty much it. Just trying to get a nice dusty, dirty vehicle without it being too beat up. I mentioned in my other videos that I wanted kind of a garrison type vehicle, one that is used for training and maneuvers, stuff like that, in a non-combat situation, so it wouldn't be especially beat up. I didn't do any chipping on it. The only thing I did is add some wear on grab handles, access hatch handles, tool compartment handles, stuff like that, where there'd be a lot of grip traffic. So that's it. It turned out fairly well in my estimation. It turned out actually better than I thought it would, trying out with these new techniques that I've never used before, and so I am pretty stoked. It's a very inexpensive kit. I got it at a local store with a 40% off coupon, so it ended up costing me less than $15. So I think I got a lot of bang for my buck with this one, and it was a good test bed to try out some different and to demonstrate some different weathering techniques. So I hope you've enjoyed following along. If you have, if you haven't, and you want to check it out, just look at the other episodes of this particular build, and hopefully for some of those that haven't been modeling long or just getting started. Hopefully some of this has been instructive and will help, you know, with learning how to do some weathering techniques. So anyway, that's it for Plastic Models by a Regular Dude in the M41 project. Thanks for following along. And if you have any questions or comments or like to add anything, do so in the comments below. And until next time, take care. You can reach using this.